Welcome to Laker Loyalty. I am one of your hosts, the Egyptian Laker, aka Samurai the Seventh, with my other co-hosts. Swing it over to you, Black Muse.
What's up, everybody? I'm Jason Muse, aka the Black Muse. Really excited to get into another episode. Kicking it to you, Alante.
Yo, I'm Alante, aka So Damn Ice Cold, Laker fan since '97. No video for me tonight, but I will be back next week with the video. What's up, y'all? How y'all feeling?
Feeling
Feeling
good,
pretty
feeling
good,
good.
man.
Lakers,
Uh,
NBA's got us third in the power rankings. It's feeling pretty good. Before we start, I just want to, you know, dedicate uh this podcast episode or even just our what we do in general to Eldon Campbell, rest in peace, who we lost last week in
Yes,
a
indeed.
tragic accident, drowning fishing accident. I know he was a beloved figure, not just a player, uh, native of Inglewood and throughout the basketball community. He's loved. It was sudden and shocking to everybody. He was only 57 years old, which is crazy. That's still pretty young in my eyes. But yeah, just he was the huge part of that '90s era of Lakers that bridged the gap from Magic to Kobe and Shaq, as he played with both those guys. So he's one of those players that has been through a lot of different rosters of Lakers, different changing of the guards, and then unfortunately never got to win a championship with the Lakers, even though he did play in the finals against Michael Jordan, and we lost. And he did get some run. That was his rookie year, if I'm not mistaken. That was Eldon Campbell's rookie year. He did get a few minutes in the finals here and there. He did play in the last game, which we knew we were going to lose, but I think he scored like 20 points or something. So ended up getting a ring against the Lakers as a member of the Pistons in '04. So
Oh,
I'm
it
I'm
still hurts my
happy.
heart.
I know. Still happy he got a championship ring, and all time leading scorer still to this day at Clemson University where he went to college.
Yes, sir.
So just wanted to shout out Eldon Campbell. Any of y'all want to say any words or thoughts or memories? Number 41.
I mean, Eldon Campbell was a part of an interesting era in Lakers basketball. The kind of transition between the classic Showtime to the Kobe and Shaq days, and so the way you can, and real Laker fans know, and you can tell real Laker fans because they can name drop, like I'm gonna name drop off the top of their head. I mean, he was on the team with Cedric Sabalos,
Yeah.
Vladi Divac, Nick Van Exel, Eddie Jones, I think Byron Scott. And
Mhm,
that was a holdover from the Showtime era.
mhm,
These were Lakers under coach. I believe Dale Harris was coaching at the time
mhm.
when he was on the team, and then eventually they would get Shaq and Kobe. So that was an era of Lakers basketball when we still had Chick Hearn calling games.
Mhm.
And if you grew up a Laker fan, if you were a diehard Laker fan in that era, that is an era that he put his stamp on, and so
Mhm.
you can't even imagine what the era of Lakers, what it was like being a Lakers fan without him. And there were so many games I remember watching him specifically, and and I have so many core memories with it. I mean, watching Laker games was something that I used to do as a child with my dad. He would come home from work, he would turn on the Laker game, and so that's one of the reasons why I became a Laker fan so young, is because it was just something that was normal in my house. It wasn't even like my son was, or my dad was like, "Son, you gotta cheer for the Lakers." It was just what my dad did by default, so I did it. And then he would sit me on his lap, and he would, it was like father son moments. A lot of father son moments I had with my dad. Like he would teach me basketball, like literally, like see what they're doing, son, and this is the strategy. And I was just kind of in awe, like, oh, this is kind of a fun game. And so he and all of those Lakers that I named are a part of that era where I learned basketball. And so for me as a fan, I mean, as an individual player, he was great, by the way, but just as a fan, he was a part of an era which even made him as an individual player mean more to me. So that was just kind of, you probably won't hear that, but people will focus on kind of him as an individual, which they
Mhm.
should, because he was a great basketball player. I could talk your ear off about that, but I just wanted to focus on like the era of Laker basketball he represented, and it was just great times, man. So that's kind of my little input. But Alante, did you want to maybe say some words or see how this landed for you?
Yeah. When I think about Eldon Campbell, I think about the dad, the uncle, the brother.
Mhm.
Um, like in previous conversations that we've had amongst ourselves, like I would talk about like your basketball lineage. And he and I share basketball lineage through Morningside High School.
Mhm.
And it's ironic enough, like his old coach, Coach Franklin, would be around when I was on campus stomping through there. And I always looked up to the people that made it pro out of my high school. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like, and he was one of those people, along with Byron Scott and Lisa Leslie. So I think we have a very rich basketball culture, um, that ironically enough ended this year. Like the school is now closed. So it's
Mm.
just like, man, like it's unfortunate to hear the circumstances of his passing, and I offer my condolences to to relatives of his that I do know, um, and to all the others that I don't. It's very unfortunate. It hit us from left field. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Because like these type of things don't happen to NBA guys. So it's just like it's just very yeah. The timing it never feels like it's right, but
Mm.
it's yeah. I just I'm just still the process is just still going right now. So yeah, that's all I say, y'all.
Um, just one random thought, and this is really just an attempt to kind of bring levity to kind of what otherwise would be a, obviously a tragic, sad situation. Is one of the things that I remember in my formative years I was describing is learning how to spell Eldon Campbell's name because it has that P and that B in there, and you don't hear them when you say it. And I remember when I was a kid, I used to draw a lot, and one of the things I used to draw were Lakers.
Mm.
And so I would draw the different Lakers that were on the team, and I would draw the back. I would draw them from the back so I can write their names on the jersey. And I remember I used to misspell Eldon Campbell's last name, and it used to make me so mad because my drawing would be great, but it would just be that one mistake, and I'd be like, "No, I gotta start over." I remember that, and it took me forever to like actually learn how to spell his name for real. I was never like the best speller until I got to like fourth grade, and then I got better. But like I don't know, it's just a random thought that I had. I was just like, yeah, I went through it trying to spell his name. I always forgot either the P or the B. It was just I don't know, it's just a random thought I had. But
Yeah.
Hey, do you still have any of those drawings? That'd be
Yeah.
dope. You still had some of those.
no, bro, I wish I did. I used to draw
Man, that would
Lakers
be dope.
all day,
I
every day.
want
I
to
used to
see
have
that.
my
Yeah.
little purple and gold crayons. I used to know their numbers by heart.
For
That's actually
sure.
one of the reasons I know their numbers so much because I used to remember who was what number so I could draw them. It's a whole thing, bro. But I wish I still had them though. But I remember one time I did a diorama. I don't know if you guys remember what those are,
Mhm.
but you basically take a shoebox and you build something out of it. And one year, I made the Great Western Forum diorama, and
That's
it
dope.
was like it was like an idea I had. I was like, oh, can we make the Great Western
Fire.
Forum? And my dad was like, hey, that's a great idea. And so he bought like little, I don't know how to explain it, but there's like these little eyes where you like shake them and the eyeball rolls in them. They're like
Yeah, like the
plastic.
googly eyes. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we bought a bunch of eyes, and so we put them
That's
to the
dope.
side, and those were the fans. And then
Oh,
we
that's
had
sick.
we had those little bags that marbles used to come in. You know
Hmm.
what I'm talking about?
Like a mini Crown Royal bag,
Yeah, but
like that type
they're
of
like
bag, but the
they're like
smaller.
they're like
Like the
mesh
net
net.
bag.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
Yeah,
yeah,
mesh ones, the mesh
mesh
ones.
yeah.
like
I'm
like a
thinking
little
like the
net.
So I,
smaller
Yeah.
one.
I
Yeah.
cut the top of
Yeah.
that off, and that was the net of the basketball court, and I got a little
Oh, that's sick.
ring, and I got cardboard and made backboards, bro. I got into this shit, bro. And I drew the little
Oh, that's
basketball
what's up.
court lines on there, cut it all out, laid it on there, and put it all purple and gold colors. I'll never forget that. I was in the first grade when I did that. And low
That's
key,
dope.
my mom and my sister and my dad did most of the work. Not gonna lie. I was over there just kind of like cutting stuff and coloring stuff, but they was putting it all together. And
That's
then
what's
we
up.
had a little toy basketball, and we put that in there. That was how much of a Laker fan we were. Like my idea for a diorama was I'm gonna do the Great Western Forum, and it was, I think, uh, right around that time was the first time we went to a game, uh, and so I got to go to the Great Western Forum, and like it was before this, so it was fresh in my mind. So I was like, yeah, that'd be great to like put this diorama in a way that like I could, because I remember being there. The Great Western Forum was lit, bro. I've only been to one game in my entire life at the Great Western Forum, but I remember watching every game there. Um, Man, it's just I don't know. So many core members are activated, but when you say Eldon Campbell, my brain goes to my
Yeah.
childhood because that's what I was a child watching these players play, man. So that I don't know. That's just kind of how I think about it. That's more of a positive,
Absolutely. Hey, thank you.
association.
For
And
sure.
thank you for the share, man. Because I'm like, yeah, it's a 3-man weave. Like I was definitely like getting in that grief state. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But that
Mm.
really like kind of woke me up a little bit. Now I'm ready to talk about basketball right now. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like it was just like, like those are my folks. You know what I'm saying? So I feel for them. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, let's get into it, Sam. Come on, man. I'm ready. I'm here now. I'm up now.
So we've
I'm
added
up now.
so starting from our last episode, that was something that made the week start a little our week until our next episode today. It's a little gloomy, but basketball wise, we picked it up a little bit. Lakers picked it up. We went to Toronto and had an exciting game. Um, we saw LeBron's
Rui!
streak come to an end. Regular season streak. Let me clarify, because since then people have been saying this. It's not counting the playoffs because he's had single digits in the playoffs. So Jordan does technically still hold the actual record, but for LeBron to, and as someone who is like well known, like an objective LeBron fan. I'm not LeBron sexual and I'm not a LeBron hater. I'll be just fair to him. Uh, that was really great to see him make the right play. I mean, he could have. I felt he could have even taken the shot himself or drove to the hoop, but he made the great decision, putting his confidence in Rui, who he's always yelling at. So it was great to see that. Especially there were so many.
Everybody's always yelling at Rui.
Always, everybody was yelling at Rui to
Mm,
see. It
man,
was
we be
just great,
yelling at
great to see
Rui.
that. Yeah, it was great to it was just great to see that, and the fact we won again in Toronto. We're like always breaking Toronto's heart. It's like a trend now. I just wish they had like a soccer team and an NFL team so we could whoop them in those sports too. Since the Kings beat them in
So
overtime,
so
Dodgers
we
won the
go
World
so we
Series.
so we so we not gonna talk about Boston. We're not gonna
Yeah,
talk
I'm just
about
on Toronto
Boston.
right now.
We're gonna
Oh,
go.
we're gonna get to Boston.
Yeah, I know.
What are you
I'm
guys'
just
thoughts on the
like,
Toronto game? Oh, we definitely going
Boston.
to it.
Boston was just because I was like, yeah, like because I really want to get to Philly, so I just don't want to
I know.
like I don't. I'm like, let's just get to the shit, man. Like this is what the people want to hear.
You
Like
want
yeah,
you,
like
you
I'm just
Well,
saying,
I don't want to
like
skip to Boston. I
like
do want to
the
talk about it, but I want to talk
no,
about Toronto
yeah,
first.
we gotta
yeah,
we gotta
like
address Boston though. We
no,
gotta.
like in Toronto, Toronto was a good win, because
and
we needed that win. You know what I'm saying?
and they're a
And then
good
like
team.
for
They
LeBron
are
to
a good team.
pass for LeBron, if y'all ever seen Mr. 3000 with Bernie Mac?
Yes, I see that movie
Yeah,
recently. I actually love that
yeah,
movie.
I mean, it's
I
a
like that movie
baseball
a little
movie,
bit too
right?
much. Yeah, it
Like that's
is.
yeah.
how I felt when LeBron streak came to an end. Like he passed that ball to Rui to win the game when he very well could have took that shot himself. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it could have kept the streak alive. Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's how I feel about it. Jason, what's up with you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think Toronto was a good win. Toronto's a good team. I think they're either second or third at the time. I think second actually in the East.
Hmm.
And so they were definitely going to be a formidable challenge. And they're one of the teams that I thought we might lose to if we didn't bring our A game. In fact, that's exactly what I said was going to happen after that loss to the Suns. That if they played like that, they were going to lose to the Raptors. And the Lakers, they still had some of the same kind of blemishes on defense, but they did
Hmm.
play a lot better in general, and they were in control of the game actually for a good chunk of it. I actually was really satisfied and happy with LeBron's play at the end, and I thought it gave a death blow to this weird narrative about LeBron that he's all about his own stats because it just seemed so obviously not true. But that play really kind of stamped that for me. Like my pet peeve with LeBron, even since he joined the Lakers, was that he's too passive at times. So that's why I've always found that narrative weird. I know why people have it, but it's just I don't know. But anyway, just that play was a great. If you're a basketball lover, forget being a fan of any particular team or any particular player. That's the kind of sorry, I got something in my teeth. That's the kind of pass that is just objectively a great basketball pass, a great basketball play, and the X's and O's of it are obvious, and it's so unselfish. It epitomizes teamwork, all that. And I don't want to overplay it. I'm not gonna make it seem like it's the greatest pass in all of like the history. Like that's not. I'm not saying that. But the reason why it was such a good
Yeah,
pass was
it
because
wasn't.
it because it. Well, to me, the reason
Yeah.
why it stood out to me was because he easily could have kept his record, and he didn't. He chose not to, and I thought that was actually kind of like I was like, all right, I respect that. Even though I was angry
Hmm.
to him at him to that point for I thought being way too passive in the offense. Like
Passive.
it was making me mad because I'm like, bro, we about to lose this game because you're being passive. And so that play kind of like, okay, we got to win. I kind of was like calm about it, and also gave Rui an opportunity to do what he does. So I like that as a confidence booster. So that was just something that stood out to me for those reasons. And the win was a like a we need to win these games at this point
Hmm.
in the season, and so all of that felt great. So that's what I wanted to say about Toronto specifically. But I did hear a little bit of pushback from Alante, and I'm wondering if you want, you don't have to make a big deal out of it. But how did the Toronto game land for you, Alante? Somehow he got muted.
Uh,
I don't know how.
you got muted. Maybe might have muted.
I don't know how he got muted. Let me see.
So, oh, yeah.
He left, and I guess he's gonna come back, but somehow he got muted, and I'm not sure how. But I mean, you could talk about it in the meantime. We don't have to.
Yeah, the Toronto. I mean, I pretty much said, like I said, I agree. Like LeBron, making that pass was, I think, not even for the streak that just the fact he could have won the game. Like, forget there was even a streak. Like, he could have taken a little mid range, or even if had a running shot to the hoop, but he made uh, the right play. I feel like Rui had been in rhythm through that quarter, had a couple shots go in. So I felt that he probably felt like let me get it to Rui. And Rui is does hit those corner threes. That is one of his better percentage threes that he makes. So yeah, it was good to see that just for the team. I love seeing the team celebrate the chemistry, the camaraderie. Like it's always good to see that. Like just at the end of the game, I was just really happy because like yeah, we definitely needed that win after that Phoenix loss. And like we said, Toronto's a good team. I think they were like in third at the time. I know the East is starting to get close, turn into like the West, where the top five teams are like, or the top 2 through 5 are like a game apart. So I think that loss sent the Raptors. And then they lost today. So they dropped like 2 or 3 spots, and then of course we play Boston the next day, and we had discussed this when we were going over the schedule. Um, I remember saying like I don't know. I think I said I thought we'd probably lose in Toronto and win in Boston, but back to back on the furthest eastern northeastern teams.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just felt like one of those would be a trap game. The fact we barely beat Toronto and that we got whooped in Boston pretty much proves that. Yeah, Boston was just after the first quarter. I mean, I like to always be optimistic, but I was like, this game's pretty much over. I mean, their starters. We didn't have Luca, didn't have LeBron, but Austin Reeves has pulled a win out in Boston with a different roster, in the past. But Austin been carrying a lot of minutes, a lot of the workload between all of our guys, and LeBron, Luca, everybody else. He's probably played the most minutes out of I think the entire team this season. So I know like you can't just rely on him carrying the load every time, even though he's damn near in the MVP conversation this season, which is crazy because we had him at All Star, and all of a sudden he's in the top 10 MVP rankings, which is
Mhm.
crazy. But yeah, and then the fact the Boston, yeah, they're missing obviously Jason Tatum, but they do have a pretty decent. They've snuck up. They started off their season bad, but they're now I think third in the East, and they've been slowly getting back into the mix of things. They do have a pretty solid team, solid roster. They have a lot of good players still. I mean, they're really just missing Jason Tatum. Kristaps left, but they got some. Queta's a decent center. They got some other guys that are solid. They got Simons off coming off the bench who I liked him in Portland. But it's pretty much their starters just pretty much outplayed our starters. Our bench was actually decent that game. Their bench was decent that game. Our benches kind of offset each other. I think their starters outscored our starters by like around 15 or something. So that's pretty much the game. We lost by like 20.
That was
I know
pretty
we
much
tried to
that was
make a
all the
run.
whole game, and it was
Yeah. So
unexpected that Luca he flew out to
yeah,
Slovenia
I
for
had
the
his
birth
baby.
of his second daughter. Yeah, so congrats to
And much,
Luca.
much, yeah, congrats, much respect to him for that. I sure anyone would do the same. Like that's families
Yeah,
comes before anything. But like, and I'm saying
for
when I say the
sure.
starters, I not even like Austin Reeves and Jalen Brown. They've kind of canceled each other out during that game. So it was really the other four starters versus other. Aiden didn't really score that much, but he had some. He played defense, had some defense and rebounds and stuff. So I just felt like, yeah, it was just a show. I'm not, we're going to blame it on fatigue, back to back, traveling, whatever. But it's a loss, just kind of like the Phoenix loss. Obviously, it's Boston, so I never want to lose them. I don't care if our G League team is playing the Boston starters. I don't want to lose that game, but it just seems inevitable, which means we're gonna get our get back in LA. And when they come to LA, we're gonna destroy them. So it's no question. It's definitely you know gonna happen. I mean, Luca got to have a chip on his shoulder against Boston anyway from him playing. I mean, so I'm sure if Luca was playing, we wouldn't have lost. But Luca, next game, I hope Luca will be playing. I'm almost positive he will make sure he's got that game circled. He can't let the franchise down. I don't know. What did y'all see in those games? Anything that stood out, or anything that's of concern, or was it just a loss that it's just just happened? We've been missing Marcus Smart too, which could help a lot in these games.
Elijah.
Yeah, I'm like not having Luca in those two games. It was like all right, but then like when Luca came back for that Philly game, like we it was like man, I think we'll be fine. We just got to emphasize that defense because like we gave so many. I think the Celtics hit like 27 threes against us.
Hmm.
Like, that can't happen because there are a lot of
I
teams
think
that
like
could fill
over
it up
half
like
of them
that
were wide
from
open
three.
too. Like there was like no
Right,
hand,
like
no
wide
just
the
yeah.
fuck open. Like we gotta emphasize defense. I don't care about offense. We got some of the best offensive players in the world. We need to focus on defense. Go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like watching bad basketball, and I have very high expectations for the Lakers. So when I see, it's not just that the Lakers are getting out athleted by some other teams, which is part of it, but it's also just blown assignments, letting people slip you back door because you're not paying attention. you didn't get a foul, so you complaining at the ref while the other team goes on a fast break. Like that shit makes me mad because that's just basic shit. That's will. That's just doing what you're supposed to do. That's not, oh, I tried real hard but the other person was better. Like I could take that. If most of our defensive lapses were the other team's player was just better than us, and by the way, that happens a lot against the Lakers, sadly, as well. But there's a difference though. You just didn't box out. So you let somebody come and then jump over you and get a dunk, a put back dunk because you didn't
Mm-hmm.
box out. Like that's annoying to me because I know that the Lakers have been coached about that shit. Like there's no way you're a pro and you don't know that shit. It's basic basketball. So like that infuriates me to the point where I can't enjoy the game, and I'm sure I'm probably a buzzkill for other people in the clubhouse rooms or whatever because I'm yelling at the TV like I normally do when I watch it by myself. Sometimes I forget that I'm like other people can hear me. I'm trying to get better, like going on mute so I don't ruin it for other people. But like that is just maddening, and so I saw a lot of that versus the Suns
Mm-hmm.
and versus the Celtics. With the Celtics though, there was effort to be fair, but there just wasn't effort at the perimeter. It was everywhere else, and that was frustrating because it was like, why you have all this effort in the paint, but none of it in the perimeter? Like, come on, guys. Like, so yeah. That said, to shift to the positive, a couple things I loved even about the Celtics game and the blowout. Despite my frustrations with all the stuff I just said, Adu Thero getting minutes really, really made me happy. More minutes for Adu Thero is a good thing. I love
Mm-hmm.
that Coach Reddick is easing him into
Yep.
things. He's not giving he's not doing sink or swim to the degree he could. He's doing a little bit of sink or swim and then a little bit more sink or swim, and I like that. I think that he should do that because he needs to learn, and I think I would love for him to get battle tested sooner rather than later. But don't overdo it. Don't give him too much. I love that he played defense against Jalen Brown. I thought that was a nice challenge for him to see what he's got.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Brown got his points or whatever, but I like the fact that he was willing to put him out there in the first place. When you're starting to trust your young players like that, that's a vote of confidence that I think is being slept on. The way that I think it was JJ Redick used to throw Max Christie at the other team's best guard when we had him,
Mm-hmm.
like that kind of confidence building. I like that vibe. So that I loved about the Celtics game. And there were some individual players that did a lot of good things. And like you said, I always hate losing to the Celtics, so that actually makes me even more mad. But
Yeah.
you know, I saw glimpses of great things in that game, even though we got blown out, and I appreciated that. So I don't want to go back to the Suns game because we did talk about it before, but I'm
If
eager to
if
talk
if
about the
Luca
last game.
if Luca plays, we beat the Celtics. I'm standing on that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think if we had our
Oh,
best
for sure.
players, for sure, we would.
He got it.
That would have been a different game.
That's why he fits so
Uh,
well on the Lakers. He hates the Celtics as much as we do.
but I'm eager to
Well,
talk about the last game.
let me add really quick to Adu Thero. Guy I've been championing throughout the season. Our two-way guy Nick Smith Jr. He was decent in the Boston and the Toronto game. He had like 12 and 13 each both of those games. His second and third highest scoring game. He had 25 in Portland when we won in Portland. That was his best game so far. But yeah, Nick Smith. I'm just a Nick Smith Jr. fan, so I like seeing him get minutes and kind of getting into the rotation while when guys are out, he's JJ Redick's giving him a shot. So yeah, just someone else I wanted to add.
Yeah,
I love Theo. I love seeing Theo get his minutes. I'm just something is like I don't know. I don't want to get too attached to him because I feel like the Lakers do make a trade. He may be included in there, and that's like I hate when we get attached to our young players and then they're gone. But I love. He is just like even though he's not a knockdown shooter like Dalton Connect was, and I was really excited for Connect. And when the beginning of last season, preseason, summer league, season start, like man, Connect, man, this dude, we just found him out of nowhere. Not out of nowhere, but a lot of teams, 16 teams skipped over him. I'm more excited about Thiero because I feel like he's like an NBA ready, solid, like physique, and He plays defense, like you mentioned. Um,
Hmm. I
I just
think that
hope I
he's
hope Lakers don't put him in a trade package. Which, but if Giannis is on the way, I feel like a Thero might be in that package.
I I don't like that he's being a little bit too passive offensively. And I get why he would, but I don't like it because
Mm,
he actually has really good offensive instincts.
yeah,
Um,
for
I
sure.
I I want him to have that Kobe vibe of I just shot 2 air balls in a row and I'm still gonna take this open
Yeah.
shot and maybe airball the third time, no fear kind of vibe, because eventually that's gonna help him just like it did Kobe. Like the fact that Kobe was
Hmm.
unafraid to take them shots so young was
Yeah.
like that. I will never forget that. I watched that live. And
Yeah.
even I at
For
that
real.
young was like, yo, this dude is not afraid to shoot that at all. Like
Does he don't give up?
that's awesome. So I want him to have a little taste of that Mamba mentality. Like, go, dude, go to the basket. Like, you don't have to always
Yeah.
look for LeBron or whoever. I understand you understand your pecking order and all that, but
Yeah.
nah, bro. I like Kyle Kuzma. To his credit, used to have the
Hmm.
green light. Kyle Kuzma didn't give a fuck, bro.
Didn't
Kyle
yeah.
Kuzma was
He didn't
going to
give
the
he did
basket,
not
bro.
care.
And I
That's why
admired that about him.
that's why I like Nick Smith Jr. I feel he's kind of got like I think Kobe was his favorite player growing up. I know he wore 8 in Charlotte. I think it was for Kobe. So ironically where Kobe was originally drafted. So I think that's why that's definitely why one of the reasons I like Nick Smith. He's a hooper and he's got a nice shot. He could score. Like I remember when the game I went to where we lost to Portland at home. Um, I remember seeing it live there. Like he was getting a lot of minutes that game, and he
Mhm.
missed some shots, but he would just go right back at it. But he didn't care. So I definitely agree on that note. Let's finish the road trip out with Philly. I know Alante been waiting for this game. You there?
I mean, it's not that I've been waiting for it. It's just like
You want to end the road trip?
it was like, yeah, I wanted to end the road trip, especially after like that Celtics situation. Um, like Luca came back, and then like we had this emergence all of a sudden of LeBron, to where like he just turned
Hmm.
back the hands of time, and he played, and like this is the first time like in those final minutes to where like he played like an all-star. You know what I'm saying? Because as
The
quiet as it's
closer.
kept, um, yeah, like he hit him with the closer, the silencer, all of that. So I mean, yeah,
Didn't he score
man,
the
like
final
it was a
nine?
great overall.
Didn't he score like 9 points in the fourth quarter or something like that?
Might have been
I
8.
forget exactly what the figures was. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
I can look it up.
So
I
yeah,
like I like that it was he was like a mix of retro LeBron with new age LeBron. In terms of when I say retro, like he's known for bully ball, just going to the hoop, nobody can stop him, power, aggressiveness. Whereas a lot of these points, or almost all of them, were off jump shots and 3 pointers. Where his game has evolved, he's definitely become a much better shooter over the course of his career, and that's what any smart player would do as they get older to conserve their body. Like he's not able, as much as he still can run over most of the league, if not everybody in the league. Like there, even I remember even when LeBron was in Miami or his second stint in Cleveland, where I was not really a fan of his. I remember watching games where I'm yelling at LeBron to like, why are you trying to shoot fadeaway? Just run them out, just dunk the ball, just go to the hoop. Like no one can stop you. Um, and he still does that with the Lakers, but obviously he's 41. I'm not gonna expect a 41-year-old to do that all the time. But just to see him like it was kind of Kobe-esque, really, or Jordan-esque, like the way he closed the game, just hitting jump shots after jump shot. Like you would have, I know in 2013 you wouldn't be. You see, LeBron would close the game, but it would be like a different of an array of an assault. Like he'll drive to the hoop, and one dunk, maybe have a little mid range float, layup, steal, turnover, another dunk. Like this is all just jump shots. So it was kind of cool to see that. Like he was able to close the game. What he's done in a lot of games throughout his career, but with his shooting touch that he has now. So it was actually kind of cool to see that.
Yeah, I think there was a roller coaster with me of frustration, similar to some of the stuff I felt in the Celtics game, but I was more I was more pleased with the way the Lakers played as a whole in the Philly
Mm.
game because they were in control of the game in a more obvious way than they were never really in control against Boston. I did appreciate LeBron's performance. I appreciated his fourth quarter kind of, not being passive was the thing that I actually appreciated the most. Like he wasn't passive in that game like he was in the other two games, three games. But I think another he kind of ended. This is another one where again I don't want to come off as exaggerating it because that's not my goal, but I did want to highlight it. Like that last play of the game where he got that steal, it wasn't just that he got the steal and anticipated the passing lane. It was that he knew the play from the jump and he was directing people before
Oh
the
yeah.
play, during the play, and then he stepped in and got the key steal. And that's something that anybody who's familiar with LeBron, they know that LeBron be
He
knowing the other team's
knows.
plays pretty well. Like he knows calls, he figures them out, and like so for him to seal the game that way, that actually underscores something I have been arguing, which is that LeBron James is actually slept on in terms of him being a defensive asset for the Lakers. That was one of the ways that he
Mm.
demonstrated that his help defense, his ability to anticipate plays and be in the right place, and then use the athleticism he still has at his age to get in the passing lane, get the ball. And he actually could have gone and scored if he wanted to, and tied. He had, I think, what he had 20, 39, and is either 29 to 31 or 39 to 41. But whatever Luca had, he had 2 points less. He could have, if he cared about stat
Mm.
padding or whatever, scored, but he just ran out the clock. And I was like, yeah, like that was a good play. That's what he should have did. And so to me, I thought that those were, I talked about the other play. Those are two plays that really stamped like, yeah, LeBron is doing the right things. LeBron's mindset is do what the team needs for us to win as opposed to do what I need for my career stats. And that's what I was not sure he would do. And I think he's making the right decision, and I think that bodes well for the rest of the season and also the postseason. And I hope LeBron can get to the point because I know he didn't have training camp, he didn't have a preseason. I hope he can get to the point by the time of the playoffs where he could be reliable when we need him in the playoffs in clutch moments. But also like in the clutch moment be able to be like, yeah, this isn't my moment, I'm gonna pass it to the open man like he did with Rui that one play. That is gonna make this team so much better, and so that's what I'm like happiest about when it comes to LeBron. Like he's making the right decisions, I think, and he's being selfless. So that's what I wanted
No,
to highlight.
I totally agree. And I first always say, I'll be tough on LeBron because that's just how I am. I respect his greatness, his game, his athleticism, what he's done for basketball. Just things throughout his career I question and make me like, does he really does he have ulterior motives? I've always been that person to question things he does, but even as a Laker throughout his career, he helped lead us to a championship. So I got to always give him respect for that. Um, but yeah, like my whole thing that everyone talk about what's he gonna be like this year, and since he's come back, I've been pretty happy with the way he's playing. He's not forcing too much. He's making all these great plays. I feel it's my criticism or things I've noticed about him that bothered me over the years. I really don't feel it at all this year. Um, and because he is getting older, I actually giving him a lot more leeway. Like how he said, like he's I think he literally has to take time out. Like I think this is a year where we're starting to see I hate saying he's breaking down physically because he's still like probably one of the healthiest 41-year-olds on the planet. But in terms of NBA, like I think some games he might be just taking it easy. Um, where
Hmm.
he's just like, man, I can't do all those things I want to do. Like when what's his name? Who was it when Ryan Dunn was it Ryan Dunn or Chris Dunn? I mix up their first names.
Chris Dunn on
Of
the
the
Clippers.
Chris Dunn,
Yeah.
yeah, pushed Luca.
Yeah, that was
Everyone
Chris.
was criticizing LeBron because if you watch that clip, LeBron is standing next to Luca and kind of just standing there watching when Jackson Hayes comes in to like push him
Yeah.
from the back. People like LeBron don't care about Luca. I'm like, LeBron's 41. LeBron's probably like, y'all can deal with that. I'm too tired. Like I don't want. I'm like I'm actually I actually understood LeBron in that moment. If this was like 15 years ago, yeah, or 10 years ago, I would have been like, Bron, what are you doing, bro? Get in there, like defend Luca. But as someone, I'm the same age as LeBron. I'm actually a year older, 2 years older, year and a half older. no, I think 2 years. And I was like, I feel him in that moment. I was like,
Hmm.
I'm, when I was younger, like my homies getting a squad. Hey, I'm jumping in, no questions asked. Now I'm like, hey, do we need to fight? Let's find another solution to. Even though people don't really fight in the NBA, but I felt him in that moment. So people get on LeBron, like trying to act like LeBron, Luca don't like
Yeah.
each other. I think is weird. Um,
Yeah,
I
you
think
don't want to get
LeBron
in no
more than
shutter
anybody's.
match, and then he just yeah
Yeah, and you're 41. You playing long enough, and so I actually was like, nah, I agree with
yeah. You
LeBron in that
40,
moment. He
like
could
come
have
on,
said
like
something,
nah.
but he's been in the league long enough. Like the fact, like you mentioned, Black Music, like he knows all the plays, he knows everything. He knows nobody's gonna fight. He knows that they have a history. Luca and Chris Dunn have a history, so he's like probably like just two younger brothers just fighting with each other. Like, oh, y'all knock it off. Like, come on, games damn near over anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you ultimately. However, if I could play devil's advocate, I remember when Rondo fought CP3 when CP3 was on the Rockets and Rondo was on the Lakers, and
Yep.
LeBron actually appeared to go to the defense of CP3 who was on the other team, and it was Brandon Ingram
Yeah,
who
I
shits that day. And I remember that, and I remember
yes,
the
and Nipsey Hustle and Nipsey
yeah,
got up out of his seat too.
yeah, and I remember
Yep.
the narrative
Nipsey Hussle
that went
too.
yeah, I remember the narrative that went with that. And I do think that LeBron was actually involved in that situation more than people gave him credit for. But his actions got misinterpreted anyway. So like LeBron is like damned if you do,
Mm,
damned if you don't. Like he was
yeah,
he was trying to stop it by appealing to his friend who's on the other team, not because he
exactly.
prefers
Yeah,
the
everyone,
other player, but because he knows
of
CP3.
course,
But it was
and
just
that's
like,
his
nah,
homie. Yeah,
LeBron's anti. It was like, all right, well, so I mean, I don't
nah,
even
that's
know.
the
Like,
best.
if LeBron would have
Yeah,
got involved in a way that wasn't perfect, would he? Like, if LeBron
yeah,
would have held back Chris Dunn, it's like, look, LeBron cares about the Clippers more. Like, I don't know. So I mean,
yeah,
but yeah, I agree with you though. I think that LeBron didn't really
But
need to get involved
yeah,
like that. I actually
yeah,
think that there was a whole. Go ahead.
nah, he didn't.
and that's and that's my main
Nah, he
point
didn't.
is
It
just
wasn't necessary.
this is a year where I can actually see where LeBron is conserving himself more than he ever has. I mean, he's getting older every year, but like you can see it. Obviously, he's taking some games. He has to take off sciatica, load management, arthritis,
Yeah.
sciatica, in the words of Stephen A. Bummy Smith.
Bro, he's said it so many
But
different places since we've done that. He's said it over and over again on
he's
several
got to be doing it
podcasts.
on purpose now. I don't know what this guy, but
He
I
just
see. I
says
see.
it like it's the way
I'm
to
not
say the
mad.
word. Like he believes that's how
I'm
you
not
say
mad
it.
at LeBron for conserving. And I feel like LeBron probably is like, I got Luca, I got AR, so and I see he's accepted like I don't got to do everything anymore. And then Sunday he's like, all right, well Luca just flew halfway around the world, flew around the world damn near within like a 48-hour, 72-hour span. Flew to Slovenia, then back to Slovenia. AR-15 hasn't taken a game off, so he's like, he's like, I gotta do something this game.
And then
Like
he has
Toronto,
30,
um,
was it a 40-point
you
triple
know,
double or a 30-point triple double? Luca, he casually dropped a triple
30,
double with
yeah.
that. Yeah.
And then I have two other things I want to bring up for that game. The second to last thing is um, big shout out to DeAndre Ayton for being the only starter. This is a crazy stat. The only starter in Laker history to have a double double with no turnovers and no missed shots. And not only is that a crazy stat, thinking about how many greats we've had historically. And when he was interviewed about it, it was either today or yesterday during practice.
Yeah, I remember that interview.
He didn't even care about it. And I like that humility. Maybe maybe on the inside or behind closed scenes, he was like, "Oh, that's dope." But when they told him about it, he was like, because it wasn't like he had like 30 and 20. It was like what, like 15 and 10 or something. And he's like, "Those are my regular numbers." He's like, he shot. He was honestly like, "It's not a big deal." So what he was, let me look at it. He had 14 and 12. My
That interview was
14
hilarious,
and
by the
12.
way. You are underselling that interview. That
Yeah,
interview made me laugh.
I am. I am. Yeah, go ahead if you want to explain it a little better. But I was just
Uh,
cool. I just like it just makes me like Aiton more and more. The fact he has that record and just interviewed about it, and he just like doesn't even care about it. It just made me. I'm liking him more and more and more and more and more ever since we
they
signed
asked
him.
him about his connection with Edgecombe, and he was like, "You asking me too much." Yo, that dude is
Oh
hilarious,
yeah,
bro. That dude is a funny dude. Like
yeah.
I didn't realize how funny
Aim
that dude
is underrated funny. That is a
is.
really good
Hilarious.
point. He is. I've seen interviews of his where people are not understanding his humor, and they're like, "What is this guy on?" And I'm like, "He's like trolling people. He's trolling the media sometimes, or he's just having fun." And it's good to see that energy from him. He's enjoying himself. He's being himself here in LA.
Yeah, but he. I mean, I'm not
Um,
wasn't trying to like denigrate your recounting of it because the part you honed in on
no,
was
no, no, no.
actually
I was good.
pretty good.
I didn't. I might not even seen the whole interview. I know the interview was the clip that I saw was only a couple minutes, so there may have been a longer one that I didn't see.
Mhm.
Um, we lost Son at Ice Cold again.
Yeah,
Did
yeah,
we lose Delonte? Oh,
yeah.
'cause
We
I
did.
had a question for both of y'all. It was like a mini trivia question. I kind of that relates to the Philly game. I kind
I'm
of
gonna
want
try
to
to get him
wait
back.
till.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you should definitely if
uh,
it's for both of us.
it's a funny kind of easy trivia question for both of you. Um, but yeah,
Uh,
definitely. So we went 2-2. We went 2-1 on that road on the little East Coast road trip. I mean, obviously, optimally it would have been 3-0 would have been great. I'm sure if we had Luca for all three games, we would have won.
mhm.
Or if we had Luca for the Boston game, we would have won. So I'm not really mad on how the road trip. I mean, overall, like we barely won one game, blown out the second game, control of most of the third game, and had LeBron close it out for us. So I mean,
Are
overall, the
we?
road trip, I would probably
Sorry, are we still the 2 seed today?
in
Because I haven't
the
checked
in the
in
West
the
we're the
West.
third seed.
Okay. Okay.
In the West we're the third seed.
At one point we had
But
kept
it's
our seed
like,
even though we lost, and then so that's why I was confused
oh
or I
wait,
wasn't
wait,
sure.
let me. I could be
No, it
wrong. Let
might
me
have
Yeah,
been
but
double
they had
check.
a
before the second. I don't remember. It was after the Suns. We still had our second seed, and then when we
Oh
lost the
no,
Suns,
no,
I don't
I
know what happened.
am. You are
because
correct. No,
Denver lost
we're
and
in,
Houston
we're
lost.
tied for the same. Yeah, that was last week. But we're tied for the same record. So the Lakers, the Nuggets, and the Rockets all have 6 losses. Us and Denver both have 17 wins. So we're tied with the same record. But we would have, if the season ended today, we'd have the tiebreaker because we have a better conference record than
Right.
Denver. We are 12-4 in the West. They're 12-5.
Yeah.
The Rockets are 15-6. They just haven't played as many games as us. So I
Yeah.
feel like the Lakers Nuggets, it's almost set. I feel like 2 through 4 is going to end up these three is going to end up the Lakers Nuggets Rockets in whatever order. That's going to be seeds 2 through 4. OKC's damn near locking up the 1 seed now, and then
Yep.
the Spurs are 5, the Timberwolves are 6, Suns are 7. I feel like 5 through 7 could be Timberwolves, Suns, Spurs. Hey, the Mavericks are half a game out the 10th spot. I've been saying that for weeks now that I will not be surprised if Dallas sneaks into the play-in, even the playoffs, which they'd have to go on a winning streak.
AD's
But
had a couple games since he's been
I
back
think this
that
is
were good.
yes, Cooper Flag's starting to play like he wants to win Rookie of the Year.
Mhm.
And steal it away from his teammate Khan Knipple, who's the leading favorite right now. I don't remember a season where like the Rookie of the Year number like changed within the first 2 months. It's changed so much, like who it could be, which shows it's a great draft class. But all right, you're here, Alante. You here now? So I have a trivia question
Yeah, I'm
for
here.
both of y'all.
What's good?
It shouldn't be too hard of a question. Hold on, let me find the question I was gonna ask. Give me 1 second. All right, so this has to do with the Philly game. So I'm gonna read a stat line, and you have to tell me who it is. All right,
Okay.
give me 1 second.
From the
I
current
had this
Philly roster.
memorized. It's not hard, but no, from the Philly game, from the game in general. This
Okay.
is all right. You guess who this? It could be any team from any team. I'll just say the Lakers. Ooh, says this is Laker
Okay.
loyalty. All right, one personal foul,
Mm-hmm.
one assist,
Mm-hmm.
one 3-pointer attempted,
Okay.
in 3 minutes and 8 seconds of action. Who is this player?
Isn't that
Jared
Vando?
Vanderbilt.
Ding, 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 ding. We saw a Jared Vanderbilt appearance on Sunday night.
Yes, we did. Yes,
Y'all
we
know
did.
I'm thinking he's gone. I think he's being, and I love Vanderbilt. You know, I would love to see him get back in the rotation. He's going to be traded. But did it matter? What was the point of it? Was JJ just feeling bad for him? What are y'all thoughts on him getting it? Do it like there's a lot of things that went through my mind. What do y'all think?
Uh, I am more confused now than I was before. Like I don't understand that this set of
Thank
decisions.
you. Me too.
I and I felt like it was coming where he was going to enter the game without explanation, and there was and I don't even know if they asked JJ about it, to be honest. But like JJ's approach to Vando has been weird, and it's disturbing because this is the kind of stuff that Darvin Ham used to put me through, where it was like he would make personnel decisions, and I would be like, "Why is he doing that? I don't understand why he's doing that. Like he
Yeah.
cannot be this dumb." And like I don't think JJ's dumb, but I do think he's mismanaging the roster as it pertains to Vando specifically.
Mm.
He's giving way too many minutes to people like Dalton Connect and not enough minutes in times where you need them. Like if the roster's healthy and you don't play Vando, that's one thing. But if the roster is missing two of your top players and you need defense and you still don't play Vando, but then he shows up for like 10 minutes in a random game in Philly, like that's weird. I don't know what is he I don't get that. That's only alarming to me because I thought we were past this coach making weird personnel decisions when we went from Ham to him. And now I'm like, this is the one thing where I'm like, JJ, like, I don't understand your personnel decision at this point. And like, I'm questioning it in a way that's disturbing. So that's maybe there might be some kind of unfolding or explaining where he's like, oh, okay, I was wrong. I misunderstood you. I should have trusted you, JJ. I hope that at some point he'll give me an explanation I can like sit with and be like, all right, I fuck with that. But like right now, it's weird. I don't get it. Oh, we lost Samurai. But
Yeah,
what
he
do you think,
finally okay.
Alante?
I mean, he finally stopped bullshitting because all of them explanations was some bullshit. So he gave him a little bit of run, but yeah, it's just like, bro, like I need JJ to be uh what the players have said he is. You know what I'm saying? Be
Mhm.
upfront. You know what I'm saying? Let us know what time it is. Because low
Mhm.
key, I feel like it was low key, like maybe like a in teams. It felt like a team suspension, but they didn't want
Mhm.
to announce it. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? That's how it felt. So
Yeah. Yeah, I felt like it was something beyond basketball because the basketball part of it did make sense. It might have been maybe he was late to some team meetings. Maybe I don't know, man. He did something that where it was like punitive. It was that would make sense to me. And then JJ just didn't want it to be public. Cool. Like I would actually buy that. That makes sense. But if it's a X's and O's decision, it's weird.
Mhm.
And that's why I'm tripping. But welcome back, Egyptian Lakers. So Alante basically was just saying that JJ was bullshit. So that's another
crazy.
way of saying
Yes,
basically what I was saying. But yeah, I agree with that. I think that
absolutely. Because
his
he
explanation
was.
didn't make any sense at all.
It did not. It made. It was no. There was no. It was nothing coherent that he was saying that made sense, especially on a night to where we're getting blown the fuck out in Boston with no LeBron James, and then Vando doesn't even see the floor. Like what?
Mhm.
Like come on, bro.
And
Like it's
Me,
crazy.
the fact that Marcus Smart has been out this whole time,
that's
it,
exactly what I
it
was gonna
is
say.
like the perfect time.
That's
Yeah.
Exactly.
exactly what I was gonna say. Yeah, and that it was it's the combination of Marcus Smart, one of our best defenders, is out. You don't put Vando in. We need defense against several teams. It wasn't just Boston. It was actually Philly, Boston, and Phoenix, and really the
Hmm.
Raptors. But we just happened to win two of those games, and Dalton Connect is getting minutes. Like what? Like why? Like, what are you
Yeah,
doing? Like
man.
what is that about? That is
Make it
weird.
make sense.
And I guess maybe you're rolling the dice on Dalton Connect. Maybe he can get you going offensively. Cool, but like once you've taken Dalton out of the game because he's not helping you, to me, it's like, okay, well then put in somebody who can help you defensively. So I don't know. We'll see. I hope that Vando can get over whatever this is. Um, but there was trade rumors. Some of that stuff is plausible. It's just I didn't think that was the explanation. That didn't make sense as an explanation either. Like we're saving him to trade him. Like maybe, but
Yeah,
I don't
I
know, bro. Like
see. That was my logic because I'm like, because I couldn't think of. I'm like, we. This is a mystery for all of us, and we all
right.
have our own theories. And I'm like, what are? I couldn't think of any other reason. Like you said, then him going in. Now it's like, now it's confusing. I'm like, all right, well, is he still being traded? Did they decide they're not going to trade him? Was he never going to be traded? Was my research and theory wrong? Like I can't sleep over these 3 minutes of playing time he got. I'm like, what's going on?
That's
I'm looking
right.
at so he went in the second quarter with 7 minutes, 7.5 minutes, came out with 4.5 minutes, and we were like up by like six. It was 44-38. So I don't know. He went in for Gabe Vincent, and then Jake Laravia went in for him, and nothing crazy really happened in that time frame. Like it was just I don't know if it was JJ feeling like, hey, let me just throw him in there to give him some burn. This is a good time. It's not the end of the game. It's the second quarter. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see what happens. That was just my last thing. I don't know if y'all had any other things you want to talk about the Philly game. If you want to move on to the NBA Cup and our
Hey, I
thoughts
actually
and
do want to talk
predictions.
about the NBA Cup as some. I'm very
Yeah,
eager to
let's
talk.
let's go right into it. Let's
So
cover
we
that.
have some kind of elimination game coming up tomorrow versus the
Yep.
Spurs, which I actually think is
Quarter
is gearing up to be a really meaningful game. And there's a
quarterfinals.
there's a there's a general to zoom out. There's a general discourse going on about what the meaning of the in-season tournament, aka Emirates NBA Cup, is supposed to be, and whether or not it will become what the NBA wants it to organically with time.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have felt that it hasn't gotten to the point where it matters. It's not a really good predictor of who's going to win it all. It's one of those things where it's like, oh, you want an in-season tournament? We don't have a reason to believe that matters yet. Like you can hang the banner, but like if you don't win it all, who cares? And then
Mm-hmm.
there's been on top of that, the NBA's betting scandal has made people be like, hey, all these players are potentially betting their unders or doing some scandalous
Mm-hmm.
shit. They really don't care. I think that the players are kind of it's a how do I say this? It's evolving into something, and it's not clear what it's going to evolve into. Is it going to evolve into something that it's like players don't care, nobody cares, or is it going to evolve into something that's like, oh, okay, now it can? Because I've seen a lot of NBA Cup games this year where it's like, yo, these players are really putting in work, like they're really trying.
Yes. Yes.
So that's encouraging. That suggests that the closer you get to the actual finals of the NBA Cup, then the more
Mm-hmm.
it matters, kind of like the playoffs. First round of the playoffs is high stakes, but it doesn't matter as much as the finals, and everything in between is a step up. Cool, that makes sense for a tournament. So I'm kind of in a wait and see pattern. But the Lakers versus the Spurs, LeBron, Luca, Reeves versus Wimby, De'Aaron Fox, and all the other players that I'm missing blanking on right now that the Spurs
Mm-hmm.
have. Uh, uh, Dylan Harper. Who do they have? No. What's the guard? I always forget the guard's name.
Ron
He never
Harper
wins.
Jr., Stephon
Um,
Castle.
Castle. That's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, he's
But yeah, so because Dylan Harper's on another team, I don't know. I'm tripping. But yeah, but the point is,
no
I'm
Harper's on
excited.
Harper Jr. No wait,
No, I
now
said
you
Dylan
got
Harper. I said Dylan Harper, and that's a different.
it is
He's
Dylan
on.
Harper, isn't it?
Isn't he on
There's
Milton
there's Ron Harper
Minnesota? Who's
Jr.
on
and Dylan Harper.
Minnesota? Who's on Minnesota?
No, I
I
think
thought.
you were right. Now you got me all confused.
Uh,
Um,
my bad.
no, Harper. No, his number two pick was Dylan Harper for to the Spurs.
Okay, so then I did have
Oh,
that right.
his other son, Ron Harper Jr. is on the Celtics.
Yeah,
He's
but
not as good
I
as
think
them.
I think the reason why I mixed those up is because there was something on draft day where like one of those teams drafted and sent
Got
them to
dra-
the other.
Oh,
I
okay. No,
think
but you're right. Dylan Harper, he's on the Spurs. He's still there.
okay, but regardless, the point is I think that that's a solid team. They're going to get better with time, and
Yeah,
they're
Dylan
going to
Harper's nice.
challenge the Lakers. Like the Lakers could lose, and so it's going to be a pretty high stakes game. So I'm actually looking forward to that aspect of it. Wimby versus Aiton again. The last time we played them, it was high stakes, and we barely won. So this is like the rematch. So I actually like that, and it's going to be a challenge for the Lakers tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that game. So that was all I wanted to say. But
So
go ahead.
I want to add really quick. I think we're gonna win that. So Wemby, Spurs officially they did announce he's out. He's been out for a little while.
Oh, I didn't
I
know that.
thought everyone thought Wemby was how every player
They always
mysteriously
come back for the
heals
Lakers. They
for the
always come back
Lakers.
for the
So
Lakers. Yeah.
I thought that was gonna happen. I know NBA teams officially have to turn in their rosters at there's a certain time of the day of the game. So even though they officially ruled him out for tomorrow, I still feel like there's going to be like, oh no, he's actually available to play miraculously. But as of now, the Spurs did put out a thing say he's out for sure tomorrow. So I mean, either way, he's in or out. I got us winning that. Um, the
The Lakers
East
haven't
played,
played against Fox yet, by the way, and I actually
yeah,
he's
with
actually going to
Darren
be
Fox,
a
and he
problem
is
for the
not. I
Lakers.
I like Fox. Fox is who I wanted the Lakers to draft still. Even though I did like Lonzo Ball, I wanted Darren Fox that year. But it's a whole nother story for another
They
podcast
could have
episode.
drafted
But
Tatum too.
could it? Yeah, exactly. Well, who knows? Lakers' trajectory could have told maybe we never win that 2020 championship. We draft Fox because Ball was in that package for AD. Anyway, back to the NBA Cup. Um, yeah, so we play the Spurs tomorrow. I got that as a win. Um, Phoenix and OKC play. I'm actually excited. I'm gonna actually probably miss that game, but I really think Phoenix can pull the upset. I think they can do it. I'm rooting for Phoenix because then I want to play. I mean, I want to play either one of those. I mean, of course, I got the Lakers winning the cup. We'll be two-time NBA Cup champions, but um, I got obviously the Lakers beating the Spurs. I have Phoenix pulling the upset. I'm calling it here right now. Phoenix pulling the upset. Lakers playing Phoenix in the semifinal, and then us playing New York in the NBA Cup final. It'll be the obviously most televised because New York won today. They I can't. Oh, they beat Toronto, and then the Magic beat Miami. I had Orlando winning. I had New York. Those,
Wait, but
those
don't
are
they still
both two
got
teams.
don't they got to play the Pistons still
No, no, no,
to
no.
get
Pistons
to?
weren't in it. It was
Oh,
they're in the semi. It's just four. It's just eight teams total left. So the four East teams played today. So that's the East final is gonna be Orlando versus New York. So it's actually gonna be a good. It could go either way. I just want to see New York win so we can have a LA New York championship. Now the reason I have Phoenix possibly upsetting OKC is like we've talked about it before. I think Phoenix is a sneaky good team. I think they're underrated. They have not even had Jalen Green. They've had him for I think one game this year. But even without him, they've been really good. Dylan Brooks is having damn near All Star year, and Booker is injured. He's questionable. I think he'll play tomorrow. Um, and the reason I bring this up is that when OKC and Phoenix played earlier this year, it was down to the wire.
mhm.
Phoenix gave them one of their most obviously didn't give them their one loss, but gave them one of their hardest wins. I think Phoenix was down. It was like a 1 point game with like 30 seconds left or something. Like it was a really close game that whole game. They had everybody healthy except for Jalen Green, and Grayson Allen did not play that game. Who's become a really solid NBA player. So I think they're gonna have everybody tomorrow. Well, Booker's questionable. If he does play, they'll have everybody except Jalen Green. Brooks should be available. Grayson Allen will be playing. Mark Williams will be playing. So I really am gonna keep an eye on that game. Then, like I said, Lakers. Then even if OKC wins, good. Then we have another reason to beat OKC and get back from the last game. So, but the NBA Cup overall, like I've liked it. I've always liked the idea from the beginning. I love that they changed the court colors. I know they're trying to, use that like soccer leagues in Europe and MLS. They do that here. They have like a cup. It's a tradition in soccer. Have tournaments throughout the season. So I think, and I know the NBA is trying to do that because it started as to keep players and fans both interested in the beginning of the season because most people don't get into casual fans don't get into the NBA till after Christmas usually because they're all more focused on football, or they just there's so many NBA games that they don't want to watch till once January comes around. But I feel the NBA Cup has done that. It's made people more engaged with the NBA in the beginning of the season, and like you said, a lot more players are playing hard, and as we learned in the first NBA Cup, the winning team gets, I forget what the dollar amount is this year, but I know in 23 the winning team got $1 million. Yeah, every player got like $1 million or half a million. It was one of those, and it's like for all those rookies, those two-way players, the non-guaranteed contract guys, that's a lot of money for them.
Yeah.
And I know that's why, like when LeBron and AD won, they even said like we won this for our guys at the end of the bench, who don't have guaranteed money or don't have a guaranteed contract or on two ways or whatever. So I think that's why the teams play hard. Is it really does kind of bring the teams together. The guys who are making 30, 40, 50 million a year, they're trying to win it for pride and for bragging rights, but also they want to, if they're really looking out for their other teammates, they're playing for them too. So it's really cool. Like I think the NBA Cup is a great idea. I've actually liked the NBA Cup more than the All Star format this year, which we've gone over. But I feel like I think the NBA. My point is, I feel like the NBA Cup is drawing more viewership, and I don't know the numbers. I could be wrong, but I feel the NBA Cup games themselves, some of the games like the when you're playing your group seeding games before the knockout stage, and I feel the knockout stage are probably getting higher views. Now, last year it was who were the two teams in the finals? It was Milwaukee versus Houston, I think. I think that was the championship. I know it was Milwaukee. I don't remember who
Milwaukee won it all.
won.
I don't remember who they played though
I think it was Houston.
in the
I think it
West.
was probably not as high of, I don't know what the viewership was, but I don't think it's probably viewed as much because it wasn't like LA, New York, Golden State Warriors, Miami. It wasn't one of those teams, but that's another reason. I think if LA and New York end up facing each other, it's going to really bring the NBA Cup to another level where now people are really, really paying attention to it. I mean, the Lakers winning the first one, it obviously brought a lot of attention to it, but it was versus the Pacers. And I think that NBA Cup does kind of give a little bit of a foresight into who's going to be good. Like obviously we won in 23 and haven't even been to the finals since then, but we've been in the playoffs. We played the Pacers who made it to the finals last year. Milwaukee won last year, who just came off a finals run 2 years before that. So I feel the teams that are making it, it's not. It would be cool one day to see like the Pelicans made it to the win, and you're like, what? They're not even a
Yeah.
good team. Like, but
I
I
think
think
that
that the better teams are winning and playing.
I think that the whatever season it happens where whoever wins the in-season tournament ends up winning everything will
Hmm.
either supercharge it or undermine it, and I
Yeah,
can't really determine which will be more likely.
could be this
Um,
year. Even though
it
I'm
might
not, I
be
don't
it
want
might be
that
this
saying
year,
that's
but
not saying the Lakers are going to lose, but I don't want to say that. But
I mean maybe,
could happen.
but
OKC could go
it
crazy.
depends. Like I don't know what impact that'll have on the NBA, and it might not have any impact. I don't know, but like I think what a lot of people's inklings are is that they want the they want the in-season tournament or the NBA Cup to, in some sense, kind of like foreshadow the playoffs
Mm,
and have some kind
yeah,
of connection that it currently doesn't seem to have. And so I don't know if that's better for it or it's worse for it. So I'm kind of, again, I'm gonna wait and see. So it'll be interesting if that happens, where like whoever wins the in-season tournament also wins it all, and
yeah,
then there'll be this
wins.
thing of like, oh, like is so then can we now lean into this, like, hey, they won the in-season
Yeah.
tournament,
Oh,
so
they will
now,
for sure.
yeah. So
And
I don't,
Vegas. At the end of the day, loves the NBA Cup period because there's just more things to bet on, and
mhm.
the championship game is in. Well, the final four is in Vegas. It's been like that the past 3 years. I guess next year they're gonna only do the championship game in Vegas. So the semifinal game will still be at the higher seeds uh, home arena, but
Mhm.
this year it'll be the semifinal game will be whoever is the better seed. But Vegas is winning regardless with the NBA Cup. Like,
Mhm.
and it's cool. I like the whole March Madness, vibe of it. Is once you get to the
Mhm.
knockout stage, one game and that's it. And I mean, even today, like today's games were like I don't think there's been. in the past 3 years of the NBA Cup, well, the past 2.5, I don't think there's even been like a major blowout in any of the games. I think all the games have been close, so it's like the
Yeah.
games are getting, like getting the best of each team, from each player on each team. I know that the Orlando Miami game was close, and then Toronto Knicks was like that was like they won by like 16, but
Yeah.
some of those points were garbage time. Even
Mhm.
yeah, same thing Orlando. That was like a 9 point win. I didn't really watch either of these games today. I was a little busy, but I was following the box scores throughout, and throughout the games were close. I think by the fourth quarter, each team that won just probably garbage time points. But yeah,
Mhm.
I'm excited for the NBA Cup. Um,
This could be the Lakers' first. Sorry,
mhm.
Luca's first time winning it if the Lakers win
Yeah,
it, and it could be and then the Lakers would be the first team to win it more than once. So
yeah.
they'll have the
Well,
all
two
time
NBA
record.
Cup banners equals
Yeah,
one championship banner. See, non Laker NBA teams would say something like that. Like that's something the Clippers would say.
yeah,
Well, we got two NBA Cup championships, counts as a real championship.
yeah. I mean, it
But
would legitimize it if the Lakers were the ones to win both of them this year.
oh, for sure,
It would
for sure.
legitimize it in a way that I think other franchises couldn't. So that'd be interesting. Maybe OKC winning it and then winning everything could legitimize it too. That's possible because
If
they're so good.
OKC wins the NBA Cup and wins another championship, they're officially I don't like they to go to win the NBA Finals and then start 23-1, win the NBA Cup and go back to the finals. Yeah, they're on the level of the 2015, 17, 18, the 17-18 Warriors, the 01 to 02 Lakers, the 08-09 Lakers. I'll definitely start putting in that category. I see people already comparing them, the Thunder to those teams. But I'm like, they got to win at least one more championship. They get it. Hasn't
Yeah,
happened yet. So
yeah,
the Lakers stand in their way,
yeah. I think a Lakers
hopefully.
Thunder Western Conference Finals could
Oh,
be box
it'll be
office.
crazy.
I think that
Oh,
could
it
be
will for
monumental.
sure. It's gonna be
Yeah,
crazy. It's gonna be the big market team trying to dethrone the champions who are a small market team. It's gonna get a lot of people rooting for OKC who hate the Lakers, but it's getting a lot of people rooting for the Lakers who are sick of
Uh,
OKC.
I mean, yeah, but OKC might end up with the best record in NBA history after this season. That's actually in the
For
cards for
sure.
them. Yeah,
That is definitely I agree. They are doing some crazy shit
yeah,
right now. And it's like
right.
they're doing it with ease, which is scary.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to have that much of a juggernaut, because then it would actually in some weird way be one of the biggest letdowns that like tops the 73-9 Warriors losing.
Hmm.
It'll outdo that because it's like this is the
Yeah.
most winningest team ever. They lost to another team.
They
Like
went
that's crazy.
81-1 and got knocked out in the first round.
That's crazy.
That would be
They're
ridiculous.
definitely not getting locked out in the first round. But for them to lose in the Western Conference after
Yeah.
going, 81-1, 80-2 or whatever would be crazy.
You
That
know
would
what?
be like super crazy.
Before before we end this episode, hold on. I gotta see what I want to see what their schedule is. What their next possible loss is. I gotta see that. It'd be the Lakers if it could be tomorrow. Being so, I know the NBA Cup games they count towards the record except for the championship game because that
Mhm.
game would be an 83rd game for every team. So or any team that makes it. So their next
Yeah.
possible loss could be tomorrow. It could be the Lakers, as long as we win and Phoenix loses. Aside from those, uh,
No team has played 83 games because the team that won the cup didn't go to the finals. So that's actually never happened yet.
no. Everyone's played 83. No, that's regular season games.
I thought
82's in
I
the
thought
regular season.
no, I know.
No. You
Oh yeah,
can't.
yeah, you're right. You're right.
But
You're right.
to
You're right.
have,
You're right.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, you're right. You're
No,
right.
Milwaukee and the Lakers technically played 83. I mean,
Oh,
no
you're right. You're right.
player, no actual individual player, I think has
No, I
played
just
83
I
games.
had a brain fart. What I said didn't even.
But to what you're saying in a different way, no player has played 83 games in a season because I don't think there's any
That's a
unless
that's
the
a
so Milwaukee won last year.
mhm.
I know obviously Giannis was played in the I can't remember who else played in the championship game. So I actually watched that game versus Houston, and
Yeah.
um
I
because
mean,
Houston actually beat OKC to get to that final, and then
that's a
but
nice.
that means whoever had to play the entire season, and I'm sure like when the Lakers won, AD and LeBron, nobody on that team played 82 games that
That's
season.
a nice recovery, but what I said was objectively false. I just want to
Was
own
yeah,
that.
which no, you were but no, it led me to a different thought. What it
Yeah,
led
right,
me
right.
to say, has any player played 83 games? And then I would actually Austin Reeves did he because he was on that team, so he technically has a some kind of title
He
under his
missed
belt,
games
but
that season. He missed games that
he missed
season.
games
I
that
know
season.
for a
I think
fact.
because he had like 70 game season. Anyway, I want to look at this Thunder schedule real quick before we end this. So Phoenix. Then if they beat Phoenix, they'll play the Lakers. Then after that, if they beat the Lakers and they go to the championship, they'll play. I'm assuming New York, uh, Orlando. I don't know. That's gonna be a close game. New York, Orlando. I think those are two of the best teams in the East, so that could go either way. Aside from that, their next regular season game is versus the Clippers. I don't think they're losing to the Clippers unless it's like a fluke upset. That'd be hilarious if the Clippers were the team to give them their next loss. After
Their
that, they play
their first loss
Minnesota,
wasn't their first loss against the Mavs or something weird like that.
Portland. It was the Blazers,
Oh yeah, yeah,
who had kind of like a nice little start to the season. They've kind of like went
hmm
back to their
yeah,
what's it called, regress to their means. But
yeah.
Portland did because Portland beat us. They gave us one of our first losses.
hmm
Uh, Game that I was at, of course, first home game I go to, the Lakers lose, but we were missing LeBron and Luca, and I don't want to blame that on them because Lakers we should have won that game. So they lost to the Blazers. Obviously, nobody else. They do play Minnesota on December 19th. That's on Prime. That's gonna
hmm
be a good game to watch. Other than that, like I don't see a really. They play Golden State on January 2nd, but Golden State's not they're not as I don't, they don't seem as good as they were the second half of last season. I've already seen rumors for Butler being traded. Like I don't know why that's a rumor. He's unhappy all of a sudden. Yeah, I mean they don't play anyone good for a while. They could. You're right. They could literally go like 40-1 by the All Star break or some shit. They play Houston on January 15th in Houston, and that was what that went into overtime or double overtime on opening night.
Yeah. So yeah, Houston
So
definitely can give them a loss. Um,
yeah, so
yeah,
that but they don't go in. They don't go into Houston until mid-January, January 15th. Other than that, they have a pretty easy schedule, which is scary. That's crazy. We don't even play them again till like April or March or something. Yeah, we play them twice. The next two we because we play them 3 times a year, so the next two games are both in April actually. So we don't. So unless we play them this week, because if we play them, what's tomorrow? Wednesday. Then the semifinal would be Friday or Saturday, and then the
mhm,
championship NBA Cup is Tuesday.
makes sense.
Yeah. So, all right.
Yeah,
Well,
that's actually exciting. I actually hope the Lakers end up playing OKC for a
whew,
fourth game,
that
and
would be great.
it would be an early one and not just those ones at the end.
Yeah, I gotta wait till April.
And it would be, a payback opportunity. It's like now we're playing you with all
Mm-hmm.
of our players, not just,
Mm-hmm.
some of them, and you got all your players. So let's go. Because the Lakers were
Sure.
the only team to blow out OKC last time, and they blew them out by like 30 or 40 points. Like it was last year. It was
Yes,
impressive. I was like,
I
wow.
remember that.
I could not believe
I
the Lakers were
remember
just
that.
handling them like that. So the
Yep.
Lakers have the ability to do that to them. Clearly, now they're better this year. I think that's obvious. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I don't think they're going to blow out. I don't think the Lakers are likely to blow out OKC, but they can beat them though. I do believe that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Sure.
we'll see.
And if we do play them, it's gonna be in Vegas because, like I said, the semifinal game. So it's
Hmm.
gonna be technically kind of a Laker home game since Vegas is
Yeah,
really like the Lakers' second
yeah,
home. So we'll see what happens, but we'll reconvene this NBA Cup on our next episode. Thank you to everyone who's joining in or who
yeah.
catches. our episode and clips later on, please like, comment, follow, subscribe. Again, thank you to all of our co-hosts here. So damn ice cold, aka Lante, had to dip out a little early.
Yep.
And any last words?
I just feel like you need to hit him with that tagline because that tagline gives me
Oh
life.
yeah. Well, I just want to thank you too, Black Muse, aka Jason Muse. Appreciate you as
Appreciate it, bro.
always. And we are Laker loyalty. And you cannot spell loyalty without the LAL.
That's what I'm
Thank
talking
you all
about.
and enjoy.
All right, y'all. Y'all be easy.
All right, y'all. Y'all be.